All right, so we are recording now. Good evening, good afternoon. And the idea here today is to have a joint interview with Yannick, Dave, and myself to talk a little bit more about electroculture in English. Okay, so I will start with the first question for David. Okay, David, can you introduce yourself and explain who you are, what you do, etc., just to start?
Sure. Hello, everyone. My name is David Wechsler. I am from St. Louis, Missouri, in the United States, and I've been involved with electroculture since about 2010, where I first came across it. Actually, was well before that in high school, and I found some articles on the topic. And then in 2010, I did my first experiment, which blew me away. We could talk more about that later. But basically, I've been playing with electroculture for about 10 years now, on and off, focused on DC electroculture using batteries and electronics like microcontrollers and stuff like that. And probably that's about it for now.
Yeah, good. Yannick, can you introduce yourself and give us some tips from you?
Okay, I will try to make it short. So I did studies about agriculture engineering in the 90s, and there I did research about the influence of music on plants, and this made me discover the influence of electricity also and electromagnetics on plants and subtle energies. After, in the beginning of the years 2000, I worked always on my own enterprise, and I worked on the development of electromagnetic water treatment and the music on plants. And I began to do my first test of electroculture about the work of Justin Christophe. It's a pioneer in the 20s, 30s, in the 1920s, 30s. And my first experiments were also very good results. I was amazed. And so I wanted to develop that more. And my first big experiment on a whole field was in 2008, 2009. And then and then I began to make my work 100% to promote and develop electroculture since around 2009.
Great experience.
Awesome.
So it's my time. I'm Andrea. I'm working in an ICT company in Oracle, but in reality, I'm looking after everything is connected to the environment since my childhood. I was always fascinated by nature, and my thesis was on the environment policy in the world. I was the first recycled paper thesis in the Italian university. But then I did something else in my life, etc. Since 2012, when I've seen a strange guys on YouTube showing how to save a tree with a Lakoski coil. And this guy was Yannick. I was very curious. I had maple trees in my orchard that was very thick. My intention was to cut the tree because it was totally destroyed by a lot of fungus and other stuff. And I decided to try a Lakoski coil that I made with an antenna cable that was a refurnished cable of copper in my house. And that was November 2012. And in March, the plants show me an incredible vitality, new growth, new leaves, new colors. I was really surprised. That was my shocking experience So from that, I started myself to combine the new electroculture approach and in my permaculture food forest development here in Italy in the mountain. And it was a journey because every year I was planting more plants, testing new things, looking after Yannick, looking after information on the web. I start my personal research, and from that, the experience was very wide. You can see my activity now. It's still a hobby because it's a passion. It's a hobby, but it's becoming very interesting because there are a lot of big projects in Italy. I love especially the training to teach the people, and we will see the future. But I really like to share my experience, and we really have very good results. That's the point. We are having very good results in large scale, small scale, and small experiments. It's very important to use the technology in the proper way. I'm using only natural energy, like Yannick, so passive electroculture, like we say. And that's my short introduction. So the next question for David again is what you think how we can develop the knowledge, the solution, the approach to have more people aware and to have some new project in USA that can really change the approach for the agriculture.
Sure. I think there's so much potential here with electroculture. Like back when I did my first experiments and I saw the results from putting some a battery charger into the soil with some electrodes, and I saw my Romanesco broccoli plants booming. They were maybe 300% better growth compared to the control group. It blew me away, and I think if we could start showing people around the world what you could do with electroculture and how simple it is. I mean, I started off down the road of using battery chargers and eventually microcontrollers, but I'm finding myself gravitating towards the more simpler approaches of electropermaculture using passive electroculture because it's easier to implement. It's very easy to scale up to large farm environments. And it is absolutely amazing. Furthermore, I find that if we could teach the world about electroculture, we also get the world more connected to land and to nature. Back in my younger days, I was always attracted to energy medicine. In fact, as a teenager, I was really interested in Chinese medicine. My parents would drive me to Chinatown, and I would always choose my own herbs and practice acupuncture and moxibustion on myself and my family. And I think this world is electric. Electricity is everywhere, and the world is more than electric. There's energy and magnetism and subtle energies all over the place. And what's cool is back when I started electroculture, it seemed like there was the awareness of electroculture and it was limited. But now people seem much more in tune to the energies of the world. There are lots of Facebook groups that talk about sacred geometry and natural energies and the electric universe theory. So I think there's a huge potential to take people from all these audiences, other audiences around the world, and bring them into the agriculture environment, and they could try them out themselves and find amazing success like the three of us have.
Great, thank you, Dave. It's a really a good overview. Thank you very much. Enthusiasm and also big opportunity. Now, Yannick, is your turn. If you can give us your vision, your idea, you have a big experience. You touch also multiple markets, so it's interesting to know your opinion.
Yes, thank you, Andrea. I share completely the viewpoint of David on this point. We are almost all three agree, I think, in that field. in electroculture, how do I see the future? There are like two big groups of techniques in electroculture. You have the passive electroculture techniques with natural energies, and then you have the techniques with artificial electricity, or a part artificial and part natural. I think the two group of techniques can develop themselves a lot. It can solve a lot of today problems in agriculture, also in industrial agriculture everywhere. And what is very interesting I see in the electroculture techniques is that it brings us to understand a lot more how nature works, how life works, how we live in nature, and how everything interacts with each other. And if we understand that better on how all those energies works, we can doing a huge improvements in the agriculture techniques and the today agriculture techniques. And so we see already with our first results since 10-20 years we do experiments, and every year there are more and more testimonials, is that we can easily improve the yields and the quality by 30, 50, sometimes 100%, or sometimes even a lot more, like David told on his plant. And what is also very interesting in today's world, it's that all those techniques doesn't need much investment. It's only mostly know-how and understanding. And if we can improve that understanding, and understanding is education. So if we can improve our the communication about electroculture, it can change a lot in the whole world, in the agriculture and in the gardening, and so it's quite easy to do with modern internet techniques and videos like we do now. And I'm also always very happy when people or when I meet people like David and others that I find on internet by searching, and then I see that they have also very good results, and sometimes very different techniques that I promote. But it's a great pleasure to learn from each other and to improve those techniques. And I think electroculture can only grow for the moment, because when people discover, most people that are interested in energetics and in understanding life, when they discover electroculture, they are always amazed, and they want to test and they want to try it in their garden. And so it can only improve, it can only grow for them at this moment. And we are like pushed by the universe or by God or whatever, but we are like pushed to do it because it's a need in today's world to come again to more natural values and to respect nature and to work with nature to have a more peaceful living and a more health and more quality and autonomy also.
Yeah.
So that's
yes, your point of view. Yeah, thank you, Yannick. So I will give my opinion, my point of view, and honestly, there are a lot of common points that are the same story you explain. So from my point of view, I can say exactly in this moment, we really need to produce our food. It's my intention to start the permaculture orchard, to start the electro permaculture, was only to have a real control of the food, especially the quality of the energy food. And so my focus has been always to make very good food, very high energy food, very resilient food. And we can see when, for instance, the preservation of the food is so long, the dimension, the flavors, the smell of the essential oils, it's completely different. It's a kind of return to the ancient original world. And that's really incredible, that kind of experience of taste. So from my perspective, I was really attracted by this part, and also due to the fact that you install only one time, and you have no maintenance or nothing else. You can add technology, you can add solution, and that's really incredible because like we do with the geotherapy or the antenna or Irish tower installation. It's only one time forever, let's say, or for our life, and that's it. So my objective also to expand the training. That's my objective for this year. We work a lot to share more and more because I have a lot of story, my background, but I had never time to put in writing or in recording or in video. So in this year, I will do a lot of more evangelization, training online, and I have a lot of requests. Probably I will ask you to support me because I have a training starting maybe in few months for South America. It will be in Spanish, and this will be the first time probably we start expanding in Spanish language. I will do the same in the Czech Republic, and this will be very easy to be understood from all the Balkanic area, including Poland, the ex-Yugoslavia, Bosnia, etc., and maybe Russian can understand as well. So we have a chance to expand our knowledge in multiple places. My approach, as you know, is always passive. I'm testing a lot of stuff. I'm putting the Italian creativity with colors and new stuff because, as you say, another important thing is the evolution of the people in this journey because they really establish a new connection with the nature. They establish a connection with the body to listen, to feel the nature, to observe again, and also understanding that the nature has a different rhythm that the life we have, always running, always under stress. The nature is completely different. It's always cooperating. There are a lot of interaction and small things happening like birds, bugs, bees, insects, flowers. So it's an incredible world. Let's say that we probably, when we play electroculture, we return like kids. That's my experience, and that was one of the feedback I had from a student. It's the motivation to experiment, to observe, to see, to check the plant grow. It was like to return kids, and that's what we need probably now. That's my point of view. So, guys, I think we had done a good round. Maybe we can add something else. What do you think? Do you want to add something else? Do you want to discuss about a way we can cooperate or an intention to share more technology information and to have more people trying electroculture, trying the right way? What we can do?
I think what I saw in my experience since 10, 20 years is that when I did my first 3 little videos of 5 to 10 minutes about the Lakowski coil, the use of the pyramid, and some other and some antennas. After those few videos, it developed a lot, and what helps a lot to make it known, it's very little, very informative and interesting videos where we show really how to use it, how to do it, and also all the videos and the pictures and the groups where we participate a lot, where Andrea is also very active to share testimonials. So all those testimonials helps a lot to show to the people how it works and the results. And then when people see good results, they want also to do the same in their own garden and have also good results, and they think then also always to improve and to make it better, because everybody want to make it better. And it's like a play. It's like you told. It's like we are all kids, and we are playing, and we are telling to each other, "Wow, that was nice. This works well," and so on. And it's like yes, it's like a play, and this gives a very good energy and a very good how to say the development, or I don't know the words, but it's
good feeling, a good way to
yes
to expand.
And when we see, like between us with Andrea, Richard, and other pioneers in France and Europe, it's like we become all very good friends, and we have and the more we are together to talk about all that and share our results, the more new ideas comes and new developments. And it's I see a lot the difference with 10 years ago, when I was like alone. I didn't have a guy like Andrea or like David to talk about electroculture, because nobody knows it. but now it's completely different. Now we have like a little network of people that are experimenting since several years, and it increased a lot the development. And I believe that in the coming years, electroculture will have really an exponential development, and it's also a need in our today society to make to grow again our own food and really high quality food, because it's in the shops you can, it's difficult to find high quality foods, because everything is made very cheap and with old not very not very good techniques. And with electroculture you see that you can make really high energy foods, like Andrea told, with high vitality and again nutrients, and that can also resist to today pests and stress and climate. And we see that also every year the seeds become a lot better, and that I believe that this will also boost electroculture techniques, because the last years we observed that the seeds of the plants growing in electroculture technique, that they improve very quickly, and so each generation is a lot better, and that makes a huge difference too.
Yeah, that's very funny, Yannick, because also during my research, like you, I'm always Googling, looking for antiques books. And the last I found are really focused on hybridation in the flowers to create new seeds. So it's a part, for instance, that we never discuss so in deep, but we usually work on seeds, on plants, on the earth, on the water. But really in Italy, especially during 20, they have done a lot of experiments to improve the fertility, to improve the hybridation, to create new plants that will be that have been really more productive, more strong, more even flowers, energy, smell, or intense oil inside. So there are even applications that we are not considering now that probably could be implemented or improved or discovered.
There's a lot of really cool applications out there. I remember when I first got into this, one of the things I was working on was there was an opportunity for me to work on a pilot project where in St. Louis we have it's an industrial city, and there's an issue with lead contamination of the ground. So I had an opportunity to participate on a city project that involved the practice of phytoremediation. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that, but it's basically where you could use plants to suck up toxic elements out of the ground. And so this was called the Sunflower Plus project. And I joined a team who was working on this, and we were able to apply ElectroCulture to a subset of the garden plot. And we were able to get a row of sunflowers to grow much taller than the rest. And the implications of that, at least in terms of toxic waste remediation, is that with larger plants, taller plants, more biomass, you get to suck up and pull out of the soil greater amounts of lead and other toxins out of the soil. It's also used for radioactive waste and other things. And yeah, it's really cool stuff. There's I think there's many applications along the same lines. There's this idea of phytomining, which use plants for mining, pulling up gold or other minerals out of the ground, similar type of thing. That's one of the cool things about ElectroCulture, like what you guys were saying before. It's like playing. We are learning all sorts of cool stuff, and we get to explore this whole new dimension of reality of combining plants and electricity and magnetism and subtle energies, and Gaia. All this stuff comes together, and it's this whole new world for us to explore and to play with. I'm very grateful to be a part of this group, and it's just really cool to see where things go from here.
Yeah, it's really interesting to see that we can amplify the power of the plants, the power of the environment. That's in the case you mentioned, like sunflower or hemp can really attract the heavy metals or improve the soil. But we really can accelerate and expand the potential of the plants, because I believe this was the natural energy dimension, the natural situation we had at the beginning. Honestly speaking, today the environment is completely changed. There's telecommunication, pollution, telecommunication, or even chemistry or whatever. We have less tree, deforestation. So all this activity done by the human have reduced the energy in the earth. So the action we would like to improve, to implement, it's absolutely to plant more tree that can be more strong, more safe, make a products very easily, shortly, and to reconnect the nature, also in order to create a new environment that could be safe for the man, for the animals, for the soil, because even the soil is very important also in the ElectroCulture. At the moment, especially that the soil is poor. The majority of the installation that I've done measurement of the soil, and the energy of the soil is still very poor. So we still need to work to recover the initial situation, but we can use this tool really to improve everything in a better way. So I hope we can do it, we can share it, we can improve it. My commitment for this year is to expand the sharing and the knowledge, and even to start in new market, new country, new place. So I'm open to cooperate with all of you, and I think this will be a great, interesting years.
I want to put two subjects more. What I found important since the beginning I do electroculture is to do everything open source, is to share the technology and how it works without any fear that it would be copied or something else. It's the idea that the people copy in the way that they experiment in their gardening and in their fields, and that we make it will create a lot of new jobs too, because if electroculture will expand, there will be a need of people knowing about electroculture that can advise others. Like Andrea do a lot of work of advising and helping farmers to install electroculture techniques, and so I think all over the world there will be like kind of new jobs of people that will learn about electroculture and starting to advise and help the local farmers to use and use the electroculture techniques that can improve their yields and the quality of their yields. And yes, that I found important. And then another thing, it's yes, with electroculture techniques we can easily improve even double the food production locally, and this will be agreed. That will be a big problem in the coming months or years. It's the food production, because there are a lot of problems in the world that that shows that the food production is in danger, and it's important to come again, and yes, and the economy is in danger, and it can collapse at any moment, I think, and then I think it's important that people everywhere, even with a little garden, begin to do their gardening and grow food. And if they do it directly with some electroculture techniques, it will improve a lot. Because even if you have a very poor soil, with electroculture techniques you can increase a lot the yields. It's and you don't need any product from outside. You can make, or you can do everything by yourself, almost everything. So, and like Lakowski coil, like little antennas, or like what you do, David, with a battery, or with electrodes and everything. So there are a lot of different techniques, and it can, if there is a real food crisis, it can be a big difference if people do electroculture too, to improve so their yields and the quality. Because then, even if you have a little garden, you can produce maybe enough for the whole home and family and friends and all around. Even that the food is more energetic, it's more nutrient dense too. Yeah. Well, that was my final word.
I agree, Yannick. Is also in line with the permaculture approach to transform the garden in a food forest garden, in a place where you can go and find your food, but also you can go relax and recharge yourself. So it's absolutely in line with our intention to do that. And as you say, more nutrient dense food, you need less food, and you can make locally, because we really buy a lot of things that are coming from outside. They are spending a lot of time in the boats or in the planes, and probably they are really produced for very cheap price, etc. So we can absolutely work in that direction. We can increase the knowledge, the sharing, etc. I don't have any patents, like But I'm spending a lot in research and development. I'm spending a lot of in testing, etc. So we should be honest and to have a real salary, maybe to live on it. And this will be, I think, will be the changement or the way to expand it. Because when you see the results, it's absolutely fantastic, and you want more, you want to know more, you want to extend the application, starting from the vineyard to the fruit trees, to the olive oil, to the orchard, to the horticulture area, and into the animals as well. So we have really a lot of potential application. Let's do it.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
This is the real beginning.
Okay, guys, I think it was a great occasion. I'm really pleased to have you in this recording. I will spend some time to register, and I don't have a very good connection now because there's a snow thunderstorm in the mountain. As soon as I'm ready, I share the video. We can put in our channel, and I hope this is the beginning of maybe every month, every sometimes to have a chat and to share our opinion, our results and ideas.
That sounds wonderful. Thanks for putting this together, Andrea.
It was a pleasure. Ciao, Yannick. We don't hear you anymore. I don't know. Probably your line is dead. Have a wonderful evening. Ciao, ciao.
Okay,